Our headlines for you today. The first public hearings in the landmark inquiry into the government's handling of the COVID pandemic begin.
Dramatic thunderstorms bring torrential downpours and flash flooding to parts of the UK.
Good morning. Manchester City go down a storm. The pouring rain didn't put off thousands of fans who turned out to celebrate the club's treble-winning season.
Good morning. When's the last time you used your local laundrette? It's thought there are only around 2,000 of these left in the UK, and with energy prices staying stubbornly high, many more could be headed for their final spin.
The number of hay fever sufferers seeking NHS advice triples as pollen counts hit some of the highest levels this year.
A 26-year-old man has appeared in court in Northern Ireland, charged with the murder of 21-year-old Chloe Mitchell in County Antrim. Brandon John Rainey from Ballymena is accused of murdering Miss Mitchell between the 2nd and 5th of June. A British woman has been jailed for getting an abortion when she was at least 32 weeks pregnant. The legal limit is 24 weeks. 44-year-old Carla Foster, who has 3 children, lied to obtain the abortion pills through the post during the COVID lockdown. The child victims of a suspected double murder in Stoke-on-Trent have been named as Elizabeth and Ethan John. They were found with severe injuries inside a house on Sunday. A 49-year-old woman from Stoke has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Scotland's First Minister Humza Yousaf says he sees no reason to suspend his predecessor, Nicola Sturgeon, from the Scotland National Party. She was arrested and questioned yesterday by police investigating the party's finances. She denied wrongdoing and was released without charge.
Let's run you through the front of today's newspapers. It's just approaching 18 minutes past 6. The Mirror, it leads on the COVID inquiry. It features images of victims of the virus. The paper also accuses the Prime Minister and Boris Johnson of bickering like toddlers over the resignation honours list.
The Guardian reports that both campaigners and MPs have criticised the decision to sentence a woman to more than 2 years in prison after she had taken medication to induce an abortion after the legal limit.
The Manchester City winger, Jack Grealish, makes the front of The Sun. The paper shows him looking a little worse for wear this morning after celebrating his team's historic treble. This actually, the picture showing him being helped out of his Ibiza hotel by teammate Carl Walker. Poor
And
guy.
one of the, it is tricky, isn't it? Yeah. And one of the most read stories on the BBC News website is about women being able to apply to have their historic convictions for being gay removed for the first time. The government launched its pardon scheme in 2012 in England and Wales, but until now, it only applied to men.
At the front pages, all-out war. That is how the Metro describes what it calls the vicious verbal blows being traded between Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson over the former PM's resignation honours list. The Times says the Commons Privileges Committee has concluded that Mr Johnson did mislead Parliament deliberately when he told MPs he'd been advised he did not break COVID rules. The Mirror speaks up for the families of people who died from COVID, saying they deserve better. And although Boris Johnson has now resigned as an MP, he tells The Express in an exclusive interview, "Believe me, I shall return to frontline politics." The Telegraph leads with a promise by Chancellor Jeremy Hunt to get the country back on the road to lower taxes, partly by making the public sector more productive. The Mail says Labour stands accused of abandoning the law-abiding majority by failing to back curbs on disruptive eco-protest groups such as Just Stop Oil. The Guardian leads with news of a woman who was jailed for procuring drugs for an abortion after the legal time limit had passed. And the Eye reports what it calls a Russian intelligence agent is now living in the UK with his family, having been housed under the government's scheme to help homeless Ukrainian families. Now, if you want to see any of those front pages again, or indeed read the stories, then do scan the QR code on your screen.